Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Pleasure to initiate a conversation on climate change and how different states are, taking action around climate change and how they're supporting MSMEs, so to say. Um, I personally operate in the intersection of agriculture and sustainability. And one of the popular stories when it comes to sustainable agriculture in India is how the the drip irrigation has been a successful story in the sugarcane farms of Maharashtra, but also unfortunately has never kind of gone out of Maharashtra. Whoever I speak to, they say that yeah, somehow in sugarcane, Maharashtra is the place where people have really adopted it well. Uh, there are other interesting stories I've heard, like we came to know about a large forum of the sugar belt people who came together along with some solar manufacturers and engineers who were trying to install solar, and they said that we got them all together and it was a good conversation, and a lot of people decided to go ahead and install solar capacity in their in their ethanol plants, which led to a more sustainable way of kind of moving forward, so to say. And it was just a matter of getting the right people together. But these are small stories I've heard, and ma'am, would love to hear from you from overall state point of view. What is happening? Where are you supporting the MSMEs? How can we take it forward?
Thank you, Mr. Ramakrishnan. It's happy to be here and representing Maharashtra. Maharashtra has always been progressive, as you know, and recently when the 2023-24 report came, almost 35% of the renewable energy for solar specifically, or wind energy, almost 26% contribution has been from Maharashtra. So we've always been, looking forward to support in different ways, whether it is the schemes of the government or whether involving people into community participation. As you can see, the topic here also is like, I think, circularity and community involvement in clean and green energy. So, of course, of the schemes, people might be knowing whether it is MSME support, whether we have PMEGP. I don't know whether many people know the Pradhan Mantri Employment Guarantee Program, which gives a subsidy of almost 25%, whether it is for setting up your MSME compliant green energy projects also. And specifically, if there are women, then they get about 35% of subsidy, which is a large amount. Because if you're really investing about 20 lakhs in a project, then you get 5 lakhs as a subsidy, which is a really huge amount. But many people feel that the process is cumbersome. Well, nothing is easy in life. You have to follow a process. When you go to a bank for a loan, they just take your signature. I don't know any of us who's ever taken a loan in their lives remember having read any of the columns and terms and conditions. We just sign, blind-eyedly for whatever. But then I don't expect that a person who's coming to take a loan from the government should do that. They should be really looking at the papers, and there are people who help. So even when you talk about MSME, there are programs which exist where people are given support to fill up their documents, write the form, make a project. So probably awareness is one of the issues which is always there troubling government, that how do you really reach out to people. Like even now, for example, there is a MSME gift program. Now gift doesn't mean as in gift, but green gift means in green energy facilitation center, which is there and which is there to give you the support to set up any of your MSME projects which are green. So government of Maharashtra essentially has many of these programs. When I talk about that, there is an agreement which has been made by FICCI. An MOU has been signed recently where we are looking forward, Mahapreet and government of Maharashtra through Mahapreet and FICCI, that you can take forward the green venture. Secondly, we also have a NTPC green energy JV, which is set up for power generation. So I suppose there are many things which can be done. But I'll talk about the smallest thing, which probably, which should leave a thought in your mind. We talk about honeybees. So everyone is so worried, Shakuntala story, and we all know that मधुमक्खी पास आए तो हम लोग परेशान हो जाते हैं. पर मधुमक्खी को अगर आप पास ले आए, तो मुझे लगता है इससे ज़्यादा बेहतरीन contribution to climate and green change cannot be there. Because we're talking about, organic farming, we talk about all that. We really need to think how to do organic farming. And I was working with Maharashtra State Khadi Village and Industries Board, which supports beekeeping. We have a program which is free. And this is throughout Maharashtra. Atish sir was here through Khadi Village and Industries Commission also. There's a free beekeeping program where all of you, I don't know how many of you are agriculturists here. Anyone? Yeah, like very few hands. But I'm sure you're connected to many people who are agriculturists. And this is the simplest program where you can have bee boxes in your farm, collect bee honey, have honey collected through honeybees, consume the honeybee for your superfood, green food, and then also ensure that organic farming happens. So for more details, you can look up the Khadi board website or anytime reach out to me. At least in Maharashtra, I was propagating it on a large way. Madhuban honey is the brand which we also buy back. So these are the few things I think, and if there is time, we can take this conversation forward.
Lovely story about honeybees. Not many people are aware, but one of the big risks to food security is the dwindling number of bees around the world. So if they don't do the active pollination, none of us would have adequate food. So it's not just a matter of the honey. Overall food security is a big risk if you don't have enough bees. Thanks for sharing that story. Let's talk about Arunachal Pradesh, very different state from Maharashtra, not your typical, industrial state, so to say, a little cut off from some of the main land, as we say. Would love to hear from you. What are the initiatives your state is taking to support MSMEs against climate change?
Now, if we are talking about, say, initiatives in the green sector or green initiatives, it is high time that, this mountainous belt and places which are reasonably or relatively cleaner and devoid of pollution as compared to the mainland, they should be restored and their cleanliness, etc., should be restored. So Arunachal Pradesh is now growing to that, is becoming more sensitive towards these initiatives and this area. And very recently, if I talk generally about MSME sector, that's a separate thing, but from the green perspective, very recently we have drafted our new industrial policy. In fact, which is supposed to come out or come to force from the 1st of April. So the last cabinet on the 19th just passed it, and it will come to force on the 1st of April. We have put in good number of green initiatives in the policy. So we have, in fact, the idea is to demotivate people from using DG sets in industries. So the earlier industries, the existing industries, we are incentivizing if you drop DG sets and derive power from 10 kilowatt to 2000 kilowatt, we are incentivizing you by providing you 50% of the cost of the machinery involved in doing so. And all new industries also, again, we have subsidized 50% of the cost of equipments for generating 10 kilowatt to 2000 kilowatts of power through the any green energy source. That is one. Similarly, we have, we are again pushing in, we're trying to push in e-vehicles, e-load carriers. So for the first early bird 100 cases, we have announced that we'll give you 50,000 rupees subsidy on e-load carrier if you buy one unit per industry. Then also pollution control devices. Again, 50% of subsidy on pollution control devices, only meant for the existing industries. So industries which are already polluting, we're trying to, ask them to come and join this clean initiative, green initiative. But the problem is that why would they join? That is, why would they join? What is the incentive? I mean, money is there, but then people are saying कि हमारा ऐसे ही चल रहा है काम. So there is a push that is needed to be given, which also regulatory push, etc. we will try to give so that people actually come and do that. Then wastewater recycling is another area. That is again which we are incentivizing our new policy. These are 4 or 5 major things that we are doing. Again, we have a priority sector. in which we have prioritized waste to wealth industries. So similar industries are there. I will tell you, not only Arunachal Pradesh, before this I was also doing industries in Ladakh. And Ladakh is very sensitive. For example, Arunachal Pradesh, people are not that sensitive. They are waking up to this matter of pollution, etc., or carbon neutrality. But Ladakh, the consciousness is much higher, much higher, and there is a push from the public to the industries department that we don't want polluting industries and save our environment. So there, again, we had so many incentives, and we used to do a lot, and in their industrial policy also so many things have been built up. I think people or policymakers should look at these states where very good industrial policies with these built-in features have been made, so that we can emulate and we can extend these policy initiatives in other states also. I think that's all from my side right now.
Thanks for sharing that. In fact, yesterday there were a few VCs speaking about different kinds of business models they are funding. And one point which came out was there are businesses which are actually helping industries decarbonize. So whether it is making the processes more efficient or just capturing the carbon which is coming out of the industries. So I think it's critical that these different stakeholders, whether it is funders or new technology companies or these traditional polluters, like you mentioned, and government as kind of an overall ecosystem enabler to come together and make sure that, things move in the right direction. Thank you so much for your valuable time. And with that, we come to the end of this session. Thank you so much.